Greetings, salutations. Welcome to Kindra's Corner. And today I have another satanic book to present to you. This one's kind of original. It's one of its kind. Now, why would I say that when there are a plethora of books on Satanism out there? Well, the book I'm about to show you is the first of its kind, for it is on Theistic Satanism and is written for absolute beginners. And when I say beginners, I mean those who know zero, absolute zero on Satanism, maybe even zero on the occult. No other book has been put together for newbies in this way, or absolute novices. Now, I would recommend this book for someone who is maybe curious to know what it's about, but doesn't want to practice it, but maybe wants to know, and they're confused because there's different types of Satanism out there, and even under the umbrella of Theistic Satanism, there are many different sects. Well, this book covers that. Also, it's very hard when someone is new and they want to practice and they join these groups, which I highly advocate against joining online groups, but many jump into these Facebook groups, left hand path groups, Luciferian groups, Facebook pages on Luciferianism and whatever else. And what happens, they get bullied, or they just stay quiet and watch nothing but a bunch of heads, egos bashing within these Facebook pages and online groups. And if they ask any questions, they get attacked because they're expected to already know certain things, as simple as they are. No one takes into consideration that someone's totally new and just wants to learn. And those with the biggest mouths, usually the admins of these pages, of many of these pages, if you don't agree with everything they're saying or you question it, you get attacked or banned from the group. Now, I don't join these groups, but I know those who have, and they left because of what things I just mentioned. And a lot of these people then decided not to get into Satanism or the occult or left hand path further because they don't want to deal with these type of people. Thing is, you got to understand is not everyone is like that. It's just an online thing. That's why I advocate against it. Now, the author of this book also spoke about this, something similar to this, on his YouTube channel. The book in question I'm talking about, and this is for someone who's totally new, like I said, who knows zero, or someone who's just curious and wants to know about it. The book in question is called The Little Book of Satanism, and the author is Ecstasy. And Ecstasy, like I said, has also a YouTube channel. And I highly recommend to check that out. Now, the reason why I purchased this book is people are like, well, Kindra, you're not a newbie. I purchased this book. One, the price is right. It's almost being given away on Amazon, and there is a Kindle version as well. But as you know, I advocate for physical books, and if I'm going to present anything here on YouTube, I want to have a physical copy to show you all. I also want to encourage Ecstasy, for this is Ecstasy's a new author. This is a first time book. Also, I want to encourage his YouTube channel. I feel that Ecstasy is a rising voice within the sphere of theistic Satanism. And I want to expose this. I want more people to check out his channel and more people to check out this book. And this book is presented in the same fashion that Ecstasy presents his YouTube presentations, in a non biased manner. Its presentations are all non biased on YouTube, and so is this, and presented in an easy to understand fashion that anyone could comprehend. And I like the aesthetic of this book. Most Satanists go for a black book with the red, but this is white with, as you see, the red on black. And the aesthetic continues throughout the book, as you see here. And it is illustrated. Well, a few little vectors in it here and there pertaining to what they know, but little brief on the purpose of the book. The book covers everything, like This is not, as you see, it's a small book, and there's quite a few pages in the back that are blank, and blank line pages, little journals, so you could take notes, or whoever you give this book to could take notes. Now, so there's not a lot in here. I would call this a fancy satanic dictionary, for it gives a brief on everything, and but it's the skeleton of theistic Satanism in a nutshell of what you need to know. Not all Satanists would agree with everything in here, but come on. It's basically an amalgamation of the commonalities between all the forms of theistic Satanism in general. And it's just to give someone, a newbie, an idea of what it is, or what theistic Satanism in general consists of. Now, there it speaks about in here what I like, maintaining a regular satanic practice, meditation, things that are key to the practice, how to set up and maintain a satanic altar, the common tools within theistic Satanism, all, the ritual tools. Not everyone uses all these tools, and some people use them and also could add to this list. However, these are the common ones listed in here, found w- for and utilized by the majority of theistic Satanists and found within theistic Satanism. So I highly encourage this for someone who's totally new. Of course, this book, I'm not going to keep it. I bought it to present to you all here, and like I said, to encourage the author. But I'm going to be passing this on to someone I know in the local pagan community who is absolutely new. And if you hear noises, it's the neighbors. I don't know what the hell's going on upstairs or whatever. Walls are thin here. But so forgive any weird noises you might hear around if it picks up in the recording. But I'm going to be passing this on because the person I want to pass it to knows nothing about Satanism but is very curious about it and wants to see where the similarities between it and their practice as a folkloric witch. And when they're done with it, they're going to pass it on to someone else, as it should be. This is how Ecstasy intended this to be. It's basically information that should be passed on. The author highly believes that there shouldn't be a price on satanic information. However, I do hope that XC writes a book more elaborated upon in the future, a more in depth book. And if he does, I really hope he puts a copyright on it, unlike this one. Reason being is word to the wise. There's a plethora of snakes within the collective of Satanism or left hand path, and you put something out there without your copyright on it, someone else is going to take it. They're not just going to rip you off and rehash it. They might take your book word from word, republish it, and put their name and their copyright on it. And depending who it is, then they might turn around and then try and come after you or sue you for stealing their material, which we all know is originally yours. So this is one thing you have to think of. So XC for watching this, which I'm pretty sure you're going to check out this review. Keep this into consideration. Keep this in mind. Take a mental note of it, of what could happen if you continue to put out work that's not copywritten, that you don't put. Because even myself, as an author with copyright material, I had people try to rip off my works in such ways that I had to go after. So you have to keep it up there, because if you don't protect yourself, then you can't go after someone for doing that. And if they turn around and try and sue you for stealing your own work, which they're now claiming is theirs, that hasn't happened to me, but I do know someone it has happened to within the Left Hand Path Collective. So you have to basically dot your I's and check your T's, as they say. I don't know if that's a saying everywhere, but here where I'm from, it's a saying. And basically just cover your ass, more or less. But aside from that, this book, I give it a 4.5. I'm taking away just a half a point because there are some things I do feel could have been elaborated on just a little bit more. That's about it. But I recommend this. Buy it for someone you know. Buy a copy for yourself, if you're even if you're a well-seasoned Satanist, only for the fact that you could pass it on to those who want to try and understand you and your practice a little more. And that's it, that's all. I'm going to link Amazon link below where you could purchase this book. And like I said, it's also available on Kindle. And I'm going to link Ecstasy's channel below as well, because I think that you should check it out and subscribe if you're interested in Satanism, or Theistic Satanism, I should be saying. And I shouldn't even have to say that. Just saying Satanism should pretty much, I'm talking about Theistic Satanism or spiritual Satanism. Believe in the devil, okay? Anyhow, that's it for now. I'll be back with a few more book reviews in the upcoming days. So, hope you're all doing well. Ciao for now. Darkest blessings.